Good morning, Suraj Singh, civil engineer, Faridabad. I have been giving many talks regarding various topics, various subjects, regarding safety, regarding project management, regarding political situation in our country and other countries. And I also intended to understand, to study, to get information regarding new talk, which is related to universe. Universe means Brahman and planetary planetary involvement, planetary performance, and planetary working involved within solar system, which is unique, a part of universe, creation of Almighty God. How, with what effort it did, is out of understanding. Even our scientists and others are not very clear about that. It is a big question to involve this study, though I'm not scientist, but a common sense, a common understanding. It is better to know as much as possible in this age when internet is available, reliable and also irreliable informations are available. Even then, one should attempt to have certain knowledge for better understanding of, of ourselves where we are living in. So I just tried. Previously, I involved myself with economy related to earth because economy cannot be taken into isolation of resources which are available in earth. So I had attempted few months back about real economy. Now I just wanted to conduct information based study, analytical study on, you may say, a kind of unknown, a kind of ill-connected astronomy, not going into technical details, but just having certain mathematical information about these planets which are part of our solar system, a part of universe, and we do not know how many more solar systems are working around our solar system, which we will think later on hypothetically because we cannot prove it physically. But whatever information we have with us or we can extract from information available on our systems of Google's and others, I have just tried to understand something and share with you, which I am going to share. There's not very big information, it's not very much information that you can see not available, but just a collection of the information and understanding how this system is working, and which we have no abstract, we have no direct information. Means if I ask someone, if just ask someone, or you I ask you, means do you know that what speed is what's the speed with which our earth is moving, this lithosphere is moving on its own axis? Do we have that information or can we calculate that? If we have that information, that's very fine. If that information is not available, can we have that information? It may not be useful directly for our benefit, but knowledge and information is root of development. As a student, as a professional, update of knowledge is always better. So even if it's not accurate, it's not very, you may say, directly applicable to our lives, yet it should be known to understand whole world. If I ask someone, you may ask someone, it is known that solar system is working in a refined way. It has been understood by our scientists, by our people who are involved with astronomical studies, who as a part of astronomical study, astronomy is a subject which deals with relative positions of all planets and stars all time. And we can say, if we understand that this is science, means everybody is not involved, everybody doesn't study that. But in general, it has to be understood. If I ask you, as I just said, can you tell me? We know that Earth is revolving around Sun. We know it. But have you ever contemplated with what speed Earth is moving around Sun? Is it not a question to be asked? After all, mathematics is involved everywhere. We are students, we are professionals, whole world is living, people are living, Earth is moving, stars are moving, system is working. It's God, device, and manufactured system. And it is very accurate. It is regular, punctual. Deniable fact is that it doesn't cause any error, which human causes in every act. In every act, we cause errors. But God work never cause errors. Even if it cause errors, it's unknown to us. So if you are asked, tell what speed of Earth on its own axis, which is called perpetual motion, as well as motion around Sun, which is orbital motion. Orbital motion around Sun, not only for this planet on which we are living, that's called Earth, related to all planets wherever. Is it not a general knowledge question to understand? Means we have to think beyond what is known or what is available with us. That is important. So far, we have been told there is a solar system. In that solar system, we use Sun is king, may say. Sun is a world center, and there are other planets orbiting around. Yes, that's right. Sun is, orbitals are there, orbital routes are there, and planets are there. Planets varying in their diameters, sizes, they're all spherical, in their speeds, in their energies, in their densities, and many other parameters that are involved. We call it universe part, and we have to understand, we have to think, means we cannot say everything by calculations, but we have to think that this system is working perfectly, it never stops, and how this equilibrium is achieved, a question mark. It is. I have put some information regarding whatever calculations I have done based on my information available or information extracted from available sources on internet. I have put that file on script.com website, and that URL I have put on this video text. You can just go through that file if you can download that, but I'll based on that file, on the Excel file, I will just refer it to you. Before that, I just want to create a background. What's the purpose of that? Means, if you construct some structure, some building or something else, bridge or whatever you do on this earth, you have to use certain design, some structure. For buildings, we use foundations, we use columns, beams, walls, slabs, up and up and up like that. And we see that for decades, for centuries, these structures continue to work for us, continue to serve for whatever purpose it was intended for. That's right. Means you need for a small structure, certain framework, a skeleton. You need vertical support, you need horizontal support, you need inclined support. We use all that so that that's the structure we have to use continually works, doesn't fall, doesn't collapse. Even during earthquake or during wind speed, high wind impact on that, it should work. And even during fire, it should stand without collapse. That is what our intention is or has been. But just imagine, in our skies, all these spheres of solar system, all these components of solar system have been working since these were installed. We don't know which time, how many billions or trillions years before, or more than that. That is because of faith. If you think in faith, or if you just refer to faith, you cannot say in which time or You may say there were so many yugas and all that, which I don't know, although that's all imagination. There's nothing concrete we answer with, but it could be any time. Since then, since this universe was designed and constructed or delivered to skies, this system has been working without fail. We are leaving this world, we may come back to this world, but system moves on. Sun comes in, I mean to say that sun works all time, moon works all time, other stars work all time, days and night and complete system is turning every day systematically based on its logic, based on its policy and based on calculations or based on systematic designs. There is no lapse. So many big spheres, so much size, and you see there is no support. If you see support around every planet, there is some air, some positive pressure. You may say, for example, around Earth, around lithosphere, which you call solid part of Earth, around that you can say approximately 20 kilometer air sphere is involved. And after all, if you cross that, you go beyond that air sphere, you shall not find any material in positive pressure, but space which is negative pressure, or which is vacuum. So all these spheres could be surrounded by air or some of the positive pressure, and distance between these, and after distance between this air space of all planets be, you can say availability of vacuum or negative pressure. Does it mean this negative pressure holds these positive pressure spheres in static as well as dynamic equilibrium? That a question is raised on technology basis. Is it possible that that works? Or it is just my imagination? It's not possible because negative pressure cannot stop this much pressure. So what study requires this? These balls, these spheres of so immense sizes work for us without failure. And if you calculate them, you track them, you will find that this works accordingly. That's why you can say this day you will find this eclipse. This day you shall find this track. This is relative position of these planets. We can define relative position of these planets according to studies conducted on or for astronomy. Astronomy relates to all these relative positions. Relative position I'm telling because there's no real positions. All positions are known beforehand. They can predict for after so many years you will find this ball, this sphere at this location. This means there's a concrete design, concrete study. Science has been developed to know what this system works for. Complete information to an extent possible and feasible is available. That is very important question. Important. We then have to understand how this is working. I just tried in this exercise to get certain information, of course, very approximate. It is not the claimable information that it is exact because I don't have that. Whatever information I could search, I try to assimilate that in one sheet and relate each other information and see how could I get certain interesting and mind-pleasing results. It is no claim. It is just an ordinary study by an ordinary person, which I am. I am very ordinary person, of course. I am professional, but professional doesn't mean that you know everything. Yes, you can try. Once you are professional, your mind is professional. Your mind is able to grasp some information which it understands, and if mind does not understand, it tries to understand until it is so extraordinary that you cannot even understand that information, which then you can say it doesn't relate to you. And if you learn that, you can understand that as well. But this information based on simple mathematics, that is the reason that I try to understand this. You may say this is my pleasure or this is my interest to enter certain secret information, though it is not secret because it is unknown. Yet coordination and communication among parameters itself is a study. Sometimes what happens, information is available, but is available in batches. It is available in fragments, lying here and there and there and there, and you require to just collect them and put in one place and then study and coordinate them for knowing exact relations with each other that information parameters create or get or are based upon. And that's what I have done. It is simple, nothing very big scientific work or engineering work. This is just a work to chain in available parameters. That's it. It is a big solar system, and there may be billions and billions of other solar systems. I don't know. I will keep calculating later on. But now I am just talking about what is seen or what is available or what is informed about based on various persons and various people and various organizations as are available informations claim. Yet for your interest, just for interaction, just for understanding more and more, I try to do this. That file is available, Excel file, just one file. It is a worksheet, and it is giving various informations which I will start reading now for information for better. थोड़ा मैं हिंदी में बता देता हूँ। मैंने जो ये स्टडी की करना चाहता हूँ अपने सौरमंडल के बारे में, ब्रह्मांड के तो मैं नहीं कह सकता, लेकिन हाँ सौर मंडल जो हम जानते हैं, सब बच्चा जानता है, स्कूलों में पढ़ाया जाता है कि सौर मंडल क्या है, उसमें ग्रह क्या है, सूरज क्या है, वो किस तरह काम करते हैं, कब से कर रहे हैं, जब से बने हैं तब से कर रहे हैं, ये कभी फेल भी नहीं होते हैं, ये काम करते रहते हैं। क्योंकि अपने अपने साइजेस हैं, अपने अपने कह सकते हैं स्पीड है, दूरियां हैं, किस तरह से ये लिंक करते हैं आपस में, वो सब चलता है, एक तरह से चली जा रहा है और कभी वो फेल नहीं होता है। इसको हम इंग्लिश में एस्ट्रोनॉमी का विज्ञान भी कह सकते हैं, हिंदी में आप कुछ भी कह लीजिए, मैं नहीं समझ सकता एग्जैक्ट वर्ड, लेकिन ये एक सौरमंडल का जो है सिस्टम, ये बहुत ही सही दिशा में एक्यूरेट है, बिल्कुल संगठित है, और ये कह सकते हैं आप पूरा बैलेंस में है, कभी फेल नहीं हो सकता। क्योंकि अगर फेल होता तो ये बताया नहीं जा सकता था कि इस दिन ये ग्रहण होगा, इस दिन ये स्टार यहाँ पर होगा, इस दिन ये प्लैनेट ये आपका वहां पर होगा। ये सारा जो बताया जाता है कैलकुलेशंस के हिसाब से, उनके जो रूट्स हैं उसके हिसाब से बड़ी जबरदस्त कैलकुलेशन होती हैं, उससे बताया जाता है, जिसको मैं यहाँ विवरण नहीं कर रहा हूँ। मैंने जो प्रयोग किया है, मैंने जो कोशिश की है ये जानने की, ये जो इन्फॉर्मेशन, जो सूचना इनके बारे में है, मैं जहाँ से लेता हूँ या ले सकता हूँ, किस तरह से हो सकता है वो गलत हो, सही ना हो, लेकिन मैं मानता हूँ, अज्यूम करता हूँ कि सही होगी, और उसके हिसाब से मैंने सोचा कि इनके बारे में थोड़ा समझा जाए, और जो मैं समझा हूँ उसको मैंने कोशिश की कि एक कंप्यूटर से इसको एक्सेल पर यूज करके लिखा जाए। तो मैंने वो कोशिश की। अभी भी वो मैं ये नहीं कहता बिल्कुल सही है, हो सकता है गलत हो या सही हो, एक इंफॉर्मेशन सूचना के हिसाब से उसको समझा जाए और उसको आपस में बांटा जाए कि भाई देखो ऐसा हो सकता है। उतना ही मैं कह रहा हूँ। बहुत सारी चीजें हैं उसमें साइंस की दूसरी जो एक्यूरेट हैं या जो समझी जा सकती हैं, सब कुछ पूरा नहीं, लेकिन फिर भी कोशिश की गई है कि आखिर हम कितना समझ सकते हैं। ये चीज कोई ये नहीं कि कोई बहुत बड़ी रिसर्च का काम है, ये खाली सूचना को एक जगह लाकर उसके रिश्ते आपस में समझ के उनको समझना है कि ये किस तरह से करते रहे होंगे। अगर आप देखें कि हम अगर कोई भी छोटा सा भी भवन बनाते हैं या कुछ और स्ट्रक्चर बनाते हैं, तो उसके अंदर हम कितना कुछ करते हैं। उसमें हम उसका फाउंडेशन, जिसको नींव कहा जाता है, उसके स्तंभ जो कॉलम कहा जाता है, और उनकी बीम या उनकी स्लैब्स जो भी हम बनाते हैं उस स्ट्रक्चर को रखने के लिए, ताकि वो भूचाल में भी खड़ा रहे, वो हवा में भी खड़ा रहे, वो आग में भी खड़ा रहे कुछ देर तक, वो हम करते हैं। लेकिन आप कंपेयर कीजिए कि उस छोटे सी चीज के लिए हम कितना करते हैं। उसको कहते हैं इंजीनियरिंग है, ये अभियांत्रिकी है ये। लेकिन अगर आप देखें वो जो आसमान में बनाया है, सोलर सिस्टम बनाया है, सौर मंडल बनाया है ऊपर वाले ने, जो भी है वो और वो कब से बना है? जब से ये सृष्टि बनी होगी तब से वो बना है। वो कितना पुराना है हम नहीं जानते, हम कह देते हैं इस युग में वो हुआ था, उस युग में हुआ था, वो एक अलग बात है, मैं उसमें नहीं जाना चाहता। वो एक भ्रम है ब्रह्मांड का। हम ब्रह्मांड के भ्रम को नहीं, ब्रह्मांड की वास्तविकता को जानना चाहते हैं। हम नहीं जानते कितने वर्ष पहले ये बना होगा, लेकिन जब से ये बना है तब से कार्य कर रहा है, ये सच्चाई है। एक्यूरेट, बिल्कुल सही कार्य कर रहा है, बिल्कुल सिस्टम से कार्य कर रहा है, पूरा हिसाब किताब है उसका, उसको मना नहीं किया जा सकता। गलत नहीं है इसमें, एक एक चीज काम कर रही है। दिन होता है, रात होती है, मौसम बदलते हैं, सब कुछ होता है और चलता जाता है। ये होता है, इसे मना जो करे वो उसका दिमाग नहीं है। ये पूरा डिजाइन भगवान ने किया होगा, जो भी भगवान है किस तरह से किया होगा, कितने मैथमेटिक्स समझे होंगे, बनाए होंगे, फिर किस तरह से एनर्जी शक्तियों को इकट्ठा किया होगा और उनको ग्लोब्स में बनाए होंगे, उनको स्फीयर्स में निर्माण किया होगा और उसके बाद उन्हें लॉन्च किए होंगे, किस कैलकुलेशंस होंगी। ये बहुत बड़ा विषय है, इतना आसान नहीं है समझना। हम लोग खाली इसको देखना चाहते हैं, बस हम देख पाए वही काफी है हमारे लिए, क्योंकि हम इससे ज्यादा आगे नहीं जा सकते। After all, it's work of God, who did it perfectly designed, how he got these calculations, from where calculations and these energies which collected in this form, how he could get that and solidify them, come into this spherical positions which have been working perfectly since this universe had been, you can say, in existence. We don't know that. Yet, this has been working perfectly. All these planets have been in equilibrium. They are not clashing with each other. They are not turbulenting with each other. They are in stability, working and working together without even a simple deflection. Whatever happens is known or not known. I cannot go to that. People, our scientists have gone to moon, our scientists have tried to go to Mars, our scientists have got complete information of physical existence, relative positions of each through astronomy. That is acceptable and that's a recognized one. And I'm just using whatever information is available. For that, I'm now going to start about my parameters on this Excel sheet. If you can download that, you can see that one and you can understand that one. That's nothing very secret here. Now, I have just put in this Excel sheet. Let's say, it's not very big sheet first of all. It's very small. It's very small one, and I have written that it is solar system equilibrium dynamic parameters. I use this solar system इक्विलिब्रियम डायनेमिक पैरामीटर्स। सोलर मीन्स सूर्य, सूर्य का सिस्टम जो है सौर मंडल का, जिसको हम कहते हैं सोलर सिस्टम। इक्विलिब्रियम का मतलब होता है एक बैलेंसिंग है, आपस में क्लैश, दे आर नॉट क्लैशिंग विद ईच अदर, दे आर इन इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन, मींस देयर इज नो एक्सीडेंट, देयर इज नो क्लैश, दे आर वर्किंग एज दे आर सपोज्ड टू वर्क। एंड डायनेमिक मींस मोशन, इट्स नो स्टैटिक, खड़ा नहीं है, घूम रहा है, चल रहा है, डायनेमिज्म। एंड पैरामीटर्स मींस देयर वैल्यूज। This is simple title. Now this one column, which is percentage of, let's say this way. First of all, what parameters I have taken is planets, names are there. You can say Mercury, I have taken Mercury. These are names of planet. Then Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, or dwarf. These planets, you can say Mars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 planets. Mercury, you can say, we say Mercury. Mercury means, what you call in Hindi, Mercury. That's the problem. Mercury, yes. Mercury is there. Venus, Shukra is there. Earth, Prithvi is there. Mars, Mangal is there. Jupiter, Brihaspati is there. Saturn, Sunny is there. Uranus, I think maybe Rahu or something, I'm not sure. Neptune is there. And then Pluto or dwarf. Mercury, Para कहते हैं हिंदी में, I don't know actual name of Mercury in astronomical language, sorry for that. So what I did, let us say Mercury which is according to information available, its diameter is, this is a sphere, its diameter is 4,850 kilometers, right? This is Mercury. Then Earth, oh sorry, Venus. After Mercury, 4,850 is diameter of this planet, and Venus is 12,000 kilometers in diameter. शुक्र 12,000 किलोमीटर, मरकरी का 4,850 किलोमीटर, Venus का 12,000 किलोमीटर. Then come down to Earth, Prithvi. Diameter of Earth is 12,500 approximately, not exactly, because I just studied the applied geology, and Earth was a part of that. Lithosphere is called. Earth is called lithosphere plus aerosphere. अर्थ का मतलब होता है जो पृथ्वी है पक्के सॉलिड के रूप में, जिसको हम समुद्र और कॉन्टिनेंट कहते हैं. दैट सी एंड ocean and the continent is lithosphere plus air around, that is called Earth. Means lithosphere plus aerosphere equal to Earth. So Earth, here I am taking 12,500 lithosphere diameter, 12,500 lithosphere. Then we go to Mars, Mangal. Its diameter is 6,790 according to available information on websites. 6,790, 6,790. आप 7,000 भी कह सकते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, हम खाली इसकी स्टडी कर रहे हैं. जुपिटर, बृहस्पति. Diameter of Jupiter is it's a big one, you see. It is 142,980 kilometers. See the difference? Jupiter diameter, this sphere diameter is 142,980 kilometers. Saturn is Shani. This planetary diameter is 120,536 kilometers. 1,20,536 किलोमीटर. जुपिटर का कितना था? वो 1,42,980 किलोमीटर. और शनि का कितना है? 1,20,536 किलोमीटर. 120,536 किलोमीटर. आइए अब नेक्स्ट वी गो टू यूरेनस. its diameter is 51,118 kilometers. This is Uranus. 51,118 kilometers. Then go to Neptune. Neptune is having a diameter 49,500 kilometers. 49,500 kilometers. Next, go to Pluto, which is a very small dwarf is called dwarf planet, and it is 2,377 kilometer, 2,377 kilometer. These are planetary sizes in solid form, just like lithosphere. These diameters of, you can say, or you can say planetary lithospheres. So I just repeat: Mercury 4,850 kilometer, Venus 12,000 kilometer, Earth 12,500 kilometer, Mars 6,790 kilometer, Jupiter 142,980 kilometer, Saturn 120,536 kilometer, Uranus 51,118 kilometer, Neptune 49,500 kilometer, and Pluto, which is dwarf, is 2,377 kilometers. Yes, that's right. Now, we have to see what is Sun diameter, which is very important because Sun is centrally located and is called ruler of these planets. That is in different way, but Sun is at its location. It's not orbital. Sun, actually, other planets work orbitally. You can say orbital means, orbit means other planets move around Sun, rotate around Sun, and Sun is stationary in its location. It doesn't move from its location, though it revolves its location possibly. And informative diameter of Sun is, you may say, this is 1.3 million, more than that, kilometers. Actual diameter this available is, you can say, 13 lakh, 13 lakh, I mean to say 1 lakh is 100,000, 13 lakh 91,020 kilometers, 13 lakh 91,020 kilometers, or 1.391020 million kilometers. 1.39, you may say in short, 1.39 million kilometer. This is diameter of Sun. You see difference. You see very difference. If you see percentage diameter wise, it's very, very exclamatory. Exclamatory in a sense. Mercury is just 0.35% of Sun diameter. Venus is just 0.86% of Sun diameter. Earth is 0.9% of Sun diameter. Mars is just 0.49% of Sun diameter. Jupiter is just 10.28% of Sun diameter. 10.28% of Sun diameter. Saturn is 8.67% of Sun diameter. Uranus is 3.67% of Sun diameter. Neptune is 3.56% of Sun diameter. And Pluto, Earth, is 0.171% of Sun diameter. हिंदी में जो सूरज का व्यास है वो है, सूरज का जो व्यास है बहुत ज़्यादा है, जिसको आप कह सकते हैं 13,91,020 किलोमीटर, 13,91,020 किलोमीटर। और अगर आप फीसदी देखें, परसेंटेज देखें, तो मरकरी इसका 0.35% इसका जो शुक्र है वीनस 0.86%, 0.86%, और इसका जो पृथ्वी है सूरज के डायमीटर के परसेंटेज में 0.9%, और इसी प्रकार से मंगल 0.49%, जुपिटर 10.28%, शनि 8.67%, यूरेनस 3.67%, नेपट्यून 3.56%, प्लूटो या ड्वार्फ 0.171%। ये इनके एक बहुत फर्क है, बहुत ज्यादा फर्क है। अगर आप अब देखें कि सूरज से इनकी दूरी क्या है, एक बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन पैदा करती है उससे। सूरज से ये प्लैनेट कितनी दूरी पर हैं? अगर आप देखें इसको कि जो whatever you see, if you compare the distance of sun located from these planets or these planets located from the sun, what is value of kilometer in the distance of that? Mercury is located from sun 5791000. 5,79 lakhs is 5.791, you can say 5.791 crore kilometer. Means Mercury is located 5.791 crore kilometers from Sun. Crore means you can say 10 million. I'm speaking crore because it's a bigger unit. So 1 crore equal 10 million. You can calculate yourself if you are talking internationally. So 10 million is 1 crore. Means Mercury is located at a distance of 5.791 crore from Sun. Similarly, Venus is located at a distance of 10.82 crore from Sun. Earth is located at a distance of 30 crore kilometers. Not 30, sorry. This is distance from Sun. I have to say this. This is distance means both ways. It's not one way. This is distance means half this way and half that way. So I'm just telling you total dia. What I'm telling is little confusion is there, but it's not that. When I say Mercury is located at 5.791 crore kilometer, means it is on both sides, half this side and half. So radius is 2 times radius. I'm telling calculation has been done that way. This means if you take from center of Sun, it's half of this distance, and if you take total, both sides sum is this one. Means I am telling you that example I say from Sun it is 5.79 crore kilometer, which means half of this is radial distance and it is dia distance of that. You get my point? Orbital dia is this. This is orbital dia. And when saying this is Venus is you can say similarly 10.82 crore kilometer, and half of that is radius, means location of that Venus from Sun. This is half of that. Similarly, Earth is say 30 crore kilometers from Sun, means half of that is radius. So 15 crore kilometer, you may say that way. Similarly, Mars is 22.79 kilometer and half of that is radius. Similarly, Jupiter is 77.85 crores kilometers from here, Jupiter. Similarly, you can say Saturn is 1.43 and 9 in 10 to the power 9. Then Uranus is 2.87 10 to the power 9 kilometers, and Neptune is 4.49 into 10 to the power 9, and last Pluto is 4.49 into 10 to the power 9. Alright, so we have say Mercury is this one. I have given, मैंने बताया आपको कि मरकरी जो है लोकेट किया है, आप कह सकते हैं मरकरी इज लोकेटेड, मरकरी जो सूर्य से दूरी रखता है वो 5.79 करोड़ रखता है और किलोमीटर, वीनस रखता है 10 से 0.82 करोड़ किलोमीटर सूरज से दूरी, पृथ्वी रखती है 15 करोड़ किलोमीटर सूरज से दूरी, और मार्स रखता है करीब करीब 22.79 का आधा 11.4 करोड़ किलोमीटर। जुपिटर रखता है 77.85 का आधा 77.85 करोड़ किलोमीटर। इसमें सूर्य शनि रखता है 1.43 10 पर 9 मतलब 1.43 10 की पावर 9, और यूरेनस रखता है 2.87 तो 10 की पावर 9, और नेपट्टून रखता है 4.49 10 की पावर 9, और प्लूटो रखता है 4.49 10 की पावर 9। ये बहुत दूरियां हैं जो कि एक ऑर्डिनरी एक सामान्य कैलकुलेशन से बाहर है, पर लेकिन इंफॉर्मेशन के लिए समझना जरूरी है। इट्स वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस फॉर पर्पस ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन। दिस इज आउट ऑफ आवर कैलकुलेशन एंड वी कैन नॉट थिंक बियॉन्ड दैट, बट वी हैव टू डू दिस नाउ। आफ्टर दैट इंफॉर्मेशन इज how many days it takes for these planets to move around Sun and to move on their own axis. Mercury takes 59 days to move around its axis. Mercury, it says rotation at axis perpetual. It takes 59 days actually and 88 days around Sun. Venus takes 243 days around this axis, motion around its axis, complete on its own axis, and it takes 224.7 days to move in orbit around Sun. Earth takes 1 day to move on its own axis, 24 hours, and Earth takes 365 days to move around Sun. Mars, which takes 1.025 days to move around its own axis, and it takes 687 days to move around the Sun in orbit. Jupiter. Jupiter, it says it takes 0.3882 days around its own axis, and it takes 4,380 days to move around orbital of Sun, orbiting Sun. It takes 4,380 days while orbiting Sun. Saturn moves around this axis in 0.4167 days, whereas in orbital form it takes 4,380 days. Uranus takes 0.7083 days move around its own axis and 30,660 days to move around Sun in orbital path, orbital trajectory. And Neptune takes 0.6667 days on its own axial motion and 60,225 days to complete its orbital motion around Sun. While last one, Pluto or dwarf, takes 6.4 days to move around its axis and 90,520 days to move around Sun, its orbital path. मरकरी अपने एक्सिस पर अपने एक्सिस पर घूमता है 59 दिन में और सूर्य के चक्कर लगाता है 88 दिन में। वीनस शुक्र अपनी परिधि पर 243 दिन लेता है घूमने में और सूरज के चारों तरफ घूमने में अपनी परिधि पे 224.7 दिन। उसी प्रकार पृथ्वी एक दिन में घूम जाती है अपनी परिधि पे और एक वर्ष मतलब 365 दिन सूर्य की चक्कर लगाने में पूरा। उसी प्रकार से मंगल अपने घूमने में परिधि पे 1.025 दिन और सूर्य के चारों तरफ घूमने में, सूर्य की सर्कल करने में 687 दिन। बृहस्पति अपनी परिधि पे 0.3882 दिन और सूर्य के चक्कर लगाने में 4,380 दिन। शनि अपनी परिधि पे 0.4167 दिन और शनि अपने सूरज के चक्कर लगाने में 4,380 दिन। उसी तरह से यूरेनस अपने चक्कर 0.7083 में और अपनी परिधि सूरज के चारों तरफ 30,660 दिन। नेपट्यून अपने एक्सिस पर, अपनी परिधि पर 0.6667 तथा सूरज का चक्कर लगाने में अपने 60,225 दिन, काफी लंबा समय। और इसी प्रकार ड्वार्फ्ड प्लैनेट प्लूटो स्वयं का 6.4 और सूरज का 90,520 दिन। ये डाटा अवेलेबल है। ये जो मैं आपको दिन बता रहा हूँ इसमें ये दिन पृथ्वी वाले दिन हैं, इनके अपने दिन नहीं मैं बता रहा, क्योंकि हमने पृथ्वी के दिन को कंपेयर किया है और उनका अपना अलग दिन होगा, मैं उसकी बात नहीं कर रहा। ये जो दिन है मैं पृथ्वी की ही बात कर रहा हूँ। अब चलें आगे। ये कुछ पैरामीटर्स जो हमने समझाए आपको, ये बेस है, कैलकुलेशन का बेस है। दिस कॉन्स्टिट्यूट्स बेसिस फॉर computing further details, further parameters. These were basic one because sizes, revolution day, and then percentage of these planets in comparison to sun, and axial speeds. If you take, it's very important for us to understand what is meaning of this speed, why I am considering that. That is very, very important, significant from viewpoint to understand what I wanted to understand and what I want to share with you. Now, I just worked out axial speed at surface. And that axial speed depends upon other parameters. That's very right. Now, if you take circumference of these planets, circumference means there's a radius or diameter, and you can use mathematical formula to find circumference. And if you divide that value of circumference by you can say number of hours to it takes for this planet to move around its axis, you can find kilometer of this planet on its own axis. This means that kilometer, that speed, is applicable to surface of this planet. That is what is say given here. So I have worked out that one. And that is axial speed at surface, which is kilometers per hour. That is, in case of Mercury, it is 10.76 kilometer per hour. Mercury, 10.76 kilometer per hour. It's not very big because it is Mercury. Now if you go down to Venus, this speed is 6.46 kilometer per hour. Too low. Earth is moving on at surface speed of 1636 kilometer per hour. 1636 kilometer per hour, which is much more than a flight that moves in air. This airborne flight, which is around 900 kilometers, or around that at height of 10 kilometers from surface of Earth, the surface of lithosphere. It is, in this case, Earth surface speed is 1636 kilometers, means much more than that. Or you may say, it's like, you can say, space speed when some Concorde used to fly in the air, or some other fire, or some other, you can say, fast fighter goes, which is maybe 2,500 kilometer goes. If you take Mars surface speed is 867 kilometer per hour, and Jupiter gives 48,213. Jupiter 48213. This is big one. And then go to Saturn, which is 37,868 kilometers per hour, and Uranus is 9,446 kilometers per hour, and Neptune is 9,719 kilometers per hour, whereas Pluto is 48 kilometers per hour. So maximum speed we find here is of, you can say, Jupiter. Now, this is axial speed. This is just for information purpose, and we have to see that what else can we get from this information. If you come to here, other one, this is, if you say, orbital speed around Sun. Orbital speed means, I explained you before, planet which takes motion to complete it in one revolution around Sun, that is called orbital speed. There is a formula for that we can use in mathematics. You can find perimeter or the circumference of that route and divide that by how many days it takes for that planet. Just like Earth is taking 365 days to complete one orbital movement, similarly other planets do. When I apply that formula, I get some answer, and that answer is very interesting. If you go to Mercury, you'll find it takes 88,210 kilometers per hour while it is in orbital motion. Mercury is moving around 88,210 kilometers per hour. imaginary speed. Just go to Venus, and you'll find an answer which is 63,843 kilometers per hour. Can you imagine that? Earth, which is most important, which we are living, lithosphere and air path, it is moving around Sun, located at a distance of 15 crore kilometers from Sun. And I'm not just telling size of Sun, which is too big, you can say, which is imaginary size. This result comes to 108088, or you can say it's 1.08 lakhs kilometer per hour. 1.08088 lakhs kilometer per hour. Just imagine. We cannot see that, but it is working. Earth is moving in its orbital trajectory around Sun with a speed of 1,08,088 and more kilometer per hour. We never feel this. Mars moving at speed of 43,689 kilometers per hour. Jupiter moves around Sun at speed of 23,308. Saturn moves around Sun at speed of 42,898 kilometers. Uranus 12,263 kilometers per hour. Neptune 9,773 kilometers per hour. And last, Pluto, dwarfed one, is 6,502 kilometers per hour. Just think, if we are moving, sitting on surface with a speed of 1,636 kilometers per hour and flying, our Earth is flying in sky at speed of more than 1 lakh kilometers per hour. No flight, no rocket can move with this speed so far. Just it is an imagination. But we are moving. We are flying with this speed all times without landing, without takeoff. Is it not something miraculous done by superpower? We just take it for granted in form of religion or faith, but we never try to get scientific facts. You can say, actually, God's engineering fact, this is God engineering, much more reliable, much more powerful than our small engineering which we learn on this earth. This means our engineering has not developed to a certain level. If you compare this to God, just think at that time when this calculation could have been done by superpower, maybe trillions years back, I don't know, and you don't know. Whatever it was, they must have created certain negative values, certain energies, certain material of energy, and how could they calculate this? Means they had certain detailed power of mathematical knowledge, and after that they devised this. They must have calculated this by their own system, how many big computers they might be having. We cannot just imagine that. Forget about working out that. We are calling ourselves, we have supercomputers, we are having this much knowledge, we are having our mathematical knowledge, calculus knowledge, this and that. We are boasting about that. If you just think we are nowhere still today, if you take into consideration what structure of universe is available in this solar system, this is only one of how many solar systems are available, which is a proven fact now, but we don't know how many solar systems do exist in this universe. And maybe we do not know for millenniums to come. Well, just now keep in mind that Earth or lithosphere plus aerosphere is always moving with the minimum speed of 1 lakh and more than that around Sun, which is fastest one in comparison to all other planets. So that is I think a reason God has sent all our souls and bodies to this earth to travel and enjoy. So we should feel happy that we have been traveling each moment with this speed without paying any money for ticket. Don't worry about your flights. Those flights are toys if you compare to this speed. You never can fly more than 1516 kilometers, even if you could travel by Concorde, which is out of obsolete now. Now we come to density. Density of these planets, which is average density, I'm not talking surface density, and if you go down into crust, and then furthermore, Mercury is 5.43 gram per centimeter cube, Venus is 5.24, Earth is 5.51 average, because we know Earth has three sections. If you just cut section of Earth, you'll find first of all there's crust, which is about 35 kilometers from sea level down, which can be compared to an apple, which is skin of an apple. But this is very significant. Though it's the skin of an apple, it's very important, 35 kilometers, which gives all resources to us. If you go down further to 3,500 kilometers below surface, you call it mantle in our language, in our applied geology subject, and that is further down up the core. This is the center, or center of the sphere, which is can say 6,500 kilometers. So total is Earth's diameter is 12,500 kilometers. So top crust is about to, you can say it gives to, I say, 2.5 rock density. You can say then go down is 5.5 something, and mantle, and in core it is 8 point something, which is like density of its steel. Means if you take average of that, it comes to say around 5.5. So it's 551 given average density of Earth. And they go down next to Mars, which is just 3.93, and Jupiter is 1.33. Lowest one means size is too big, size is enormous, and its density is location is also enormous. Jupiter is located say 77 or 78 crore kilometers from Earth, from Sun, and it is 1.33 density. Then Saturn is Saturn is 0.0687, and Uranus is 1.27, whereas Neptune 1.64 and Pluto is 1.27. These are average density of this planetary material. And if you see volume of this, dynamic volume of these planets, which is also very extraordinary in values, which are worked out, and it's, of course, it is imaginary here, but it is a factual there, and this is in cubic kilometers. You take Mercury, which is 5.97 into 10 to power 10 cubic kilometer. Means if you write 597 and place 10 zeros after that, that is cubic kilometer volume of Mercury, followed by Venus, which is 9.05 into 10 to the power 11, and then Earth, which is 1.02 into 10 to the power 12. Similarly, Mars, which is 1.64 into 10 to the power 11, and Jupiter, which is 1.53 into 10 to the power 15, and Saturn, which is 9.17 into 10 to the power 14, and then Uranus, which is 0.99 into 10 to the power 13, too small. Then Neptune is further down to 6.35 10 to the power 13. Then Pluto, which is dwarfed, and 7.03 into 10 to the power 9. So these are approximate volumes, cubic contents in kilometers cube of these planetary bodies, which are of course not related to us directly, but part of this system. These constitute parts of this planetary system, solar system. And if you take This further, we have to take average densities in kilometers per cubic meter, and per cubic meter density we have to convert for purpose of calculation, which I have done in this sheet. After that is planet mass. Planet mass is very important from viewpoint of calculations to see what is propulsion force. Propulsion force means when a flight is moving, when plane is moving, or some machine works, there's a force with which it moves further. That force keeps it in balance, in equilibrium position, and that is means a propulsion kind of energy. Energy which is propulsion energy, and that applies to this planet by itself because it's in dynamic position. No planet is stationary. Every planet is moving every time, means it is in dynamic state of existence, not in exactly stationary. And that is very important. And when it is in dynamic states, the moving at certain defined speed, designed speed, it's moving means it's supported by, it's working with certain propulsion force, and that force has been calculated. And that force is very important one. That is, you can say, tons kilometer per hour. That is based on mass of planet, and which is mass, you can say, if I consider Mercury, which is 3.24 into 10 to power 20, and this is Mercury, which is 3.24 into 10 to power 20. This is planet mass transfer. And then Venus, which is 4.74 in 10 to power 21, and then it's Earth, which is 5.63 into 10 to the power 21 tons, and Mars, which is 6.44 into 10 to the power 20. Unit is saying Jupiter, which is 2.04 into 10 to the power 24, and Saturn, which is 6.3 into 10 to the power 22, and Uranus is 8.88 into 10 to the power 22, and Neptune, which is 1.04 into 10 to the power 23, Pluto, which is 8.93 into 10 to the power 18. These are planetary masses which can be converted to planetary propulsive forces, and then further to centrifugal force that's working on them. So planetary forces, if you convert that one per hour, I'm taking per hour, not in other units. This per hour is Mercury, that is moving under a force or by its own forces, because without force it cannot move. It's self-imposed force or applied onto this. So it's no question of application of force, but self-imposed. But value is there. That value is, it's in 10 kilometer per hour. Is Mercury is 2.86 into 10 to the power 25. Mercury is giving a force propulsion power of 2.83 into 10 to the power 25. It can be converted to horsepower, which I have not done. And Venus is 3.03 into 10 to the power 26. Earth is 6.09 into 10 to the power 26. And Mars is 2.81 into 10 to the power 25. Jupiter is 4.74 into 10 to the power 28. And Saturn is, you can say, Saturn is 2.7 into 10 to the power 27. And Uranus is 1.09 into 10 to the power 27. Neptune is 1.02 into 10 to the power 27. Pluto is 5.8 into 10 to the power 22. Those who may not understand these powers, for them I'm just suggesting that when I say 2.86 into 10 to the power 25, just think this way, write 286 and then add 25 zeros, and that is answer for all these. Means everywhere you can use that, because in scientific calculations so many zeros are not written, but is converted to exponential values. If it is plus, say 2.86 e plus 25, means you have to write in place of e, you write 286, and then up to this so many places of plus you can write zeros, and if it's minus on other side you can move that. That is actually scientific calculation, but it's not that complicated. And we fear one. It's no question of fear. Don't fear about that. Now, if we I'll speak later on in this, all these parameters in Hindi also, but just now I'm moving further to centrifugal force, which is 10 hour, calculated 10 hour, no? So this is, you may say, about mercury, which is operating on 2.6 into 10 to the power 26, and Venus is 8.05. We say 8 also, 0.05 doesn't make anything here. 8 into 10 to the power 26, and then Earth is 2.63 into 10 to the power 27, and Mars 9 into 10 to the power 25, Jupiter 3.87 into 27, and Saturn, which is 4.82 into 10 to the power 26, and Uranus is 1.31 into 10 to the power 36, and Neptune is 1 into 10 to the power 26, and Pluto oblique dwarfs is 7.94 into 10 to the power 22. The question is, how many times this propulsive force, how many times it is to Sun, other planets, which will take into consideration later on, because first we have to discuss about Sun, and only then we can come to that point. So these are basic parameters which I discussed about various. Main is our consideration for Earth, and that says our Earth is rotating at speed of 1636 for refreshing 1636 kilometers per hour at surface. Surface means it is taking around in 24 hours, as you say, every day. This means every day we are moving at the speed of 1636 km per hour on surface, and in a year we are using speed of 1,08,800 km per hour throughout the year. And we are under force. We are living under force, a propulsive force of 6 into 10 to the power 26 ton kilometer hours. And if you count, you can see how many forces are acting on us. We never feel that, and never, because we are used to living on this planet. Now, if I just move to Sun, which is king of this, which is controller of this solar system, that is very significant one. Now, as I said, diameter of Sun is 13.91 million, not million, 1.39 million is 1391020. This means 1.39 million kilometers. This information is very surprising to me as well, because I never thought that was so big, but it is. And if you see its volume in kilometer cube, it is 4.49 into 10 to the power 17. Volume of Sun. Surface area of Sun is 6 into 10 to the power 12 kilometers square. Its perimeter is very easy. This is 4.37 million kilometers. Density, as is available in formations, 1.41 centimeter cube per gram per centimeter cube density, and its mass is 1.199 in 10 to the power 24. Escape velocity is given, which is very significant one. Escape velocity of Sun, kilometer per hour, which is, just I speak digits first, 2223720. This means 2223720 kilometer per hour. Means you have 22 lakhs, more than 22 lakhs, 22 lakhs 23720, 2.2 million, 2.22 million kilometer per hour. Imagine this escape velocity. Means if you want to escape from Sun, if you reach there, you need your velocity, your speed more than this speed, or you will go inside sun and finish yourself. You'll be absorbed by sun, you'll be digested by sun, and can never come out. Just imagine. This is only velocity there, which you need be more than that if you reach there. And see luminescence, shining, luminosity in watts, illumination. We call here in Earth that you need so many luxes for your library, you need so many luxes for a store. That is unit of illumination. There is available in watt, and it is. So 3.83 into 10 to power 26 watts if you are on sun surface. Just imagine. You are an illumination of 3.83 into 10 to the power 26, or 383 and place 26 levels of 0 up to 26 total. This much watt you have. You see, I think you don't have so many power stations which can deliver so many watts on Earth, and that much wattage quantity, that much wattage illumination, that much wattage electrical power is available on surface of sun. And its planet mass is based on density given 1.99 into 10 to the power 24, or you may say 2 into 10 to the power 24. And propulsive force is 2.21 into 30, which is not propulsive force as compared to other planets, but internal creation of force, because it's not in motion. There is no orbit. The sun is moving. Others are moving in solar orbit. We have to be very clear about that. It's a kind of complete image. I'm a civil engineer, I don't know about that, but just I try to connect information and study myself, which I could understand. I'm just sharing with you. Don't take it otherwise. I'm not a scientist of solar system. It's just a study. I'm trying to make just like study, so that at least we can understand where do we stand, where do we live. I'm a civil engineer. I should know about universe. I should know about Earth. I should know about the planets. We avoid this in our study when we engineering degree or others. We just avoid, even if we don't study applied geophysics, which is very important, applied geography, applied geoscience we don't study, which is so very important for us being an engineer to understand what Earth is. Now imagine I am saying that Earth is moving with this velocity, 16 and something on surface, as well as moving more than 1 lakh kilometers per hour in space, or you can say around sun. Think of some accident in Earth itself. Think of some you can say calamity coming on its surface. Just like you say bird strikes a flight taking off or taking flight. What happens? Same thing can harm it. Right? So escape velocity as is defined, because that's very important. Escape velocity for sun, I got definition, which just means lowest velocity which a body which a body must have in order to escape gravitational attraction of a particular planet or other object. Velocity much more than escape velocity is required to be back from sun surface. That is the definition of escape velocity is given. We have to now come back to our previous left discussion, and that is you can say I told you propulsive force and centrifugal force. Now I'm going to how many times this propulsive force in comparison to sun is. If you compare this, means whatever force exists on sun surface and what is for planets propulsive movement, this is that if you compare to Mercury, it is 77,294 times. Sun's propulsive force internally is 77,294 times to Mercury, 7,306 times to Venus, 3,631 times to Earth, 78,581 times to Mars, 47 times to Jupiter, 818 times to Saturn, 2030 times to Uranus, 2173 times to Neptune, and it is much more times to Pluto because it's distant one. It is, you can say, 380,83499, 3.8 crore times. And take Sun's self-planetary motions relative propulsion in percentages. It is, you can say 1.29 into 10 to minus 3, it is a minus here. This is Mercury, and various percentages are given there for all planets, which is just for purpose of writing and understanding, not purpose of explanations, because the same number has been converted to number of times and converted to that percentage one. So what is there now? These parameters which are worked out here are very simple, not based on very high profile mathematics, but simple calculations. Now, if we go down further, we'll find something different. Means what I have ultimately reached to my simple interpretation of this is that these parameters give certain information pertaining to solar system based on various references used from information whatever I could extract. Solar system comprising of various planets is working in dynamic equilibrium. That is an acceptable fact. All planets are revolving around their respective axis continuously. Planets other than Sun are also revolving around Sun with defined velocities, speeds. How many days does one planet consume to move around at its axis are indicated. How many days does one planet consume to move around Sun are indicated. Diameters and volume of each planet is indicated. Each planet on rotating speed and speed around Sun, orbital speed are indicated. Propulsion force produced by each planet except Sun because of orbital movement is indicated. Respective centrifugal forces are also indicated. Parameters respecting Sun are indicated separately because Sun does not rotate around itself but only on its axis. Earth rotates on its axis at speed of 16.36 kilometers per hour and around Sun at 108088 km per hour. Escape velocity of Sun is 22,23720 km per hour, means 3. When there exists no planet that can face Sun's self-revolving velocity, means there exists no planet that can face Sun's self-revolving velocity. Diameter of Sun is 13.91 million kilometers, 1.39 million kilometers, whereas Earth is only 12,500 kilometers in diameter. Amazingly, Sun's internal propulsion force is enormously number of times of other planets' propulsion force. This number varies from minimum, which is 47, to maximum 7,000, 78581, 78,581 for Jupiter and Mars respectively. For Earth, it's only 3631. Earth is moving around Sun at 1088 or more, which is highest planetary speed around Sun among all planets, 1088 kilometers per hour. If some missile or rocket attacks surface of Earth from space, Earth could be jeopardized very badly. If some rocket is launched from Earth for a trajectory to enter space and then commanded to return to Earth to attack it, Earth can be endangered and its existence can be challenged by some devil's minds. No vehicle could be designed and built to reach to sun, and even if it reaches sun, it does not look feasible to have a speed of say 2.5 millions per hour when it reaches there at sun's surface. Illumination power of sun at sun is, as I told you, 383 placed by number of required zeros watts, which is impossible to be digested by human being or by materials. Earth produces propulsive force as defined above, highest among all planets except sun. This is Earth's produce propulsive force. These are small parameters interpretation which has been reached based on complete these um, calculations, but this is not final. It is just preliminary studies I have done. I am thinking to further drive certain diagram just to understand locations of these gems, just continuing that, but it's just very, you can say, study at very facial study means a superficial study, because if you think further and study, you can get something. And actually, I try to understand to get this brilliant information for my knowledge. It's not simply engineering; it's a part of engineering. I can consider. Means just think we take into our consideration in our designs of buildings. We take seismic forces, sometimes we take wind forces, and sometimes we take stationary forces, dead load, live loads, actions, I call it euro force and all that, and our force, which are only what we have been taught. We have been taught that, but is whatever we learn enough, or we have to explore further channels, further streams to know more? Knowing is more important than doing. If you don't know, we don't try, why should we depend only on others? We have to think. Means, of course, earthquake is there, wind forces are there, other actions are there. But just think of, we never consider this speed of surface of Earth and Earth's speed which it achieves around orbital mark. Could these forces give us some information, provide some knowledge, impetus that should be used in our calculations? That's the point. Means why should we just limit ourselves to think the earthquake came on only because of sea surfaces, faults in seas of basaltic rocks, only where there is faults or where there is some other parameters related to seismic actions, or a release of energy, imbalance of energies within Earth's masses, Earth's rocks, or whatever information we have about earthquake or seismic actions in books. Just imagine there's a little disturbance to Earth, which is not known to us in space. It is because we are moving everywhere in space. We are residing in space all the time, though we are on solid, on sphere, but around us is space. A little disturbance to Earth motion, for example, there is no attack on that. A little deflection of 1 degree or 0.025 degree can disturb Earth's equilibrium. If it is done, say there's a tornado in sky itself. There's a heavy force somewhere, just like it happens during airborne flight. It goes up and down. It will clear out turbulence. It happens only in part of aerospace. But that can happen outside also. That can happen to Earth also, Earth motions also. Maybe something happens to that, or maybe that force which is created due to that impacts on seismic action. Why should we not think that way? Is that illogical? Or we have to say, no, we are bound by books, we are bound by books, we are living for books and by books. If you want to do that way only, then you cannot say that we are a researching community or we are innovating community. We are just bookworms and nothing more than that. Bookworm is not a requirement. Development of mind is requirement, thinking capacity is requirement, concentration is requirement, Developing mind, education means development of mind. It's not because of binding of mind. We cannot bind minds. Minds are not bound, cannot be bound. Even if we think we can bind them, if we stop ourselves, not mind. We have a privilege that we have mind. It's not right alone. It's a privilege. Everybody who has mind is a privilege. Everybody who uses it is a special privilege. Your mind use makes you happy. It makes you, it's not question of earning. Question earning is something else. I'm not talking of money. I'm talking of value. Mind is unlimited. Mind can be used for this work because I have worked already on some number-based spirituality my own. It's not linked to some other subject, not linked to those subjects which have been used in past or being used now. It's my own system which I think is moving among my body, moving within my body, outside my body, and that number system I have developed myself. Not because of some information or because of some thoughts. Some thoughts, if they're emerging into my mind during my life based on certain understanding of parameters, numbers, and that can be related to these. Because what I understand that a system is working, natural system, God's divine system, you can say, of spirituality. We name it spirituality of universal power. I'm not going into that detail because that's nothing to do with what. That power is a part of nature. That power is a God system, and that also in say we are using satellites here, we are using internet, we are using, you can say, Wi-Fi, we are using all those all are based on certain signals, nothing else. If signals are there, we get information. If signals are down, we say, oh, system is down, signals are not working, our server is not. We say all that. Means if signals exist, we can get connected to, and if signals break, we get disconnected from. That is so simple. Same way, if human can generate signals, superpower must have those signals, and that is why you receive those signals. You just receive that technology. You develop that mind because that mind was not developed. This was not constructed by human being. This mind is a part of body. It is constructed by Almighty. So when there is a system emerging, existing, since this universe was manufactured, this universe was constructed and delivered to universe and skies, means those signals must be working all the time. And those signals are working, that is the reason and that is the evidence that I'm talking. We are working, we are living, certain signals are working. And those signals are perfect one. Those signals start working all time and end working all time, and still you live on this earth, you live here in this body, and since you are born, these signals never break, they work. So if you want to understand those systems, if you want to locate that signal power, if you can understand nature. We say in you can say orthodox way or in religious way that this is happening, that is happening. I don't trust that because there's no logic at all. Science means reason. Science means logic. Science and knowledge are two different topics, two different. Knowledge is available, we all know. Universe is knowledge. Contents of universe is knowledge and nothing else. But that knowledge is available, but we have not discovered that. Man has not discovered that fully. Man has discovered that only in part. But that knowledge can be understood. Knowledge, when it is understood in parts or in whole, in any stream, that knowledge is converted to science, a system. A system which is understood is science. It's a scientific study. It doesn't mean study of physical sciences. It means study of management of that system which God has created. If that's discovered, it's termed science. So knowledge is higher, science is lower. So we have to use scientific methods to understand that knowledge. And that knowledge is not limited to this discussion. That is very vast knowledge. This is just, I can say, wasting time. You may say I'm wasting your time, but just to reach that knowledge. You have to reach that knowledge. That is success. How much you can reach, that's up to you. This life is too small to know that knowledge. Very small life. But knowledge is enormous. Just imagine. We have to imagine now. These planets is a small job, you think. When we construct a small building, we construct a small road or a smart plant facility, how much work we have to do? We have to think of that. We have to make report of that. We have to survey that. We have to see feasibility. We have to see everything. Every subject is studied. Every technology is studied for suitability. And then after work of years and years and say decades for some cases, we reach to evolve some project. We reach to decide for some project. So that takes so much time. Just imagine this system, which is just one solar system here which we are talking of. There may be billions of solar systems. We don't know. We can just imagine. Just see what efforts, what degree of efforts that power might have invested, might have spent to design, to conceive, to develop, and to produce these planets and keep them in a distinction, in arrangement that these work in complete equilibrium. Complete means in static equilibrium and dynamic equilibrium, and successfully work without fail for ever. Is that not scientific work? Is that not engineering work? What is that? If we claim that we have done this, we have achieved scientific goals, we have achieved these milestones, if we just release one rocket, one satellite is launched, we just start dancing and jumping, see where we are. We never care for that power, which has created whole universe. Why do we not take into scientific way and just take into faith only in a delusion form? We have to understand we are professionals. If we are professionals, what level of professional that power is? Means so big planets without any structural support, but with only dynamism, have been working since these were created. And that creation based on what material? How could that energy be managed? That energy consolidated, solidified, and converted to material, substance. That's a big question, big point to understand, to think, to concentrate. But we do not concentrate that way. We consider only what we understand. Yes, we are also right. We have limited knowledge. Just we think this way. I have a body. I have a complete body with a mind. And God works with what methods? Did God create my food first or my mind first? That can be a questionable. That can be, we can say, in such question. My mind was created first, or my feet was created first. I would think my mind was created first. Somebody says, no, feet was created. Actually, whole body was created. We work from part to whole. This is our you can say principle. We have to design everything part to whole. We don't work as whole to part. Which one is requirement? I think requirement should be whole to part, not part to whole. Part to whole means assembly, but whole to part is not assembly. We have a difference. If you create from part to whole means you have to create many parts and then assemble them. But if you just do design for whole once, I think that's concept, that's development. That's, you can say, evolution. Then if you reverse that, you say part to whole means that can be a check, which we do. But God has done that. We know that you may say, why I'm talking all this is not required. Yes, it's not required, but it is required to understand system. Our body is very small, but these planets are not small, yet our body is also functioning. There's so much structure in body itself. Medical people know, we know, still medical people could not answer till now about successful working of mind, total mechanism involved in working of brain. That has not been answered yet. There are philosophies, suppositions, assumptions only. No particular answer. How that signal system, how that universal electron magnetic system, which is working on our body, our mind, and our internal parts of every machine's body, cannot be answered by doctors, cannot be answered by scientists, because understanding of signal is not available, result is not available what these signals are. And that signals are not only working on our bodies, these are working on this planetary controls, on other solar systems controls, complete universe controls. And that is what I'm calling is probably it is soul system. It is a spiritual power which works everywhere, not only on humanity, but on all creatures, all known creatures, all systems available, all stars available, all skies available, everything available, every article available, air particle available, sea particles available, whatever material or non-material is available on this system, in these systems, in God's sphere, is all ruled by certain single power, soul power, spirit power, or whatever power you may name it. My understanding is moving me into that direction. My force, my internal atomic power, my internal nuclear management is telling me move into that direction, at least to extract what God did for us. It's not engineering, it's not science. You may say it is delusion. Yes, it is delusion. It is illusion. It is mirage. It is horizon. I am standing on that line of action. But imagine. If you imagine only, if you dream only, dream and imagine are not different. If you dream, you understand. If you dream, you understand. You remember that, you try to think of that. If you forget that after opening your eyes, you don't remember that. But sometimes it is stored somewhere. Whatever you view in physical world in open eyes or with view with closed eyes, both are facts. Only we consider, oh, it's dream. Yes, that is a dream, but it is there. Image was there. Somebody might have created that image for us. If you don't remember this, sometime it will be projected somewhere because it cannot go out of our mind hard disk. If our physical computer can handle images, it can store all these files. Why can't my natural computer, my mind, store that successfully? It must store somewhere, and it is reflected sometime when something similar to that is energized or put in my brain, and I see that yes, I got that information somewhere, and then I suddenly remember, yes, I saw that my dream. If I don't have answer, I would say I watched that in my dream, but that comes somewhere. You might have experienced that in your life, that is similar to something I saw somewhere before. It happens. It happens with everybody. But fact is that everything is real. Even if it is a dream, somewhere it is. If you're working on some plan, working on some scheme, you have no answer, you are setback. You are setback. I can't move further, but I don't have answer. Your mind is a stress and strain both. It's not simply because you are tormented. Oh my God, I'm wasting my time. I'm not understanding this. I tried so much on this, I spent so much hours. I had answered this. I will work out this and submit this, but I'm not able to do this. You are worried. It's tension. You are saying I'm getting tension, stress. It is only because you are not able to retrieve that answer from your mental store. And when you relax sometime, you go to bed and sleep. And when your active cells are down and passive cells are there, you suddenly get an answer. It has happened in many researches that during your sleep you find so many guiding answers. It happens with everybody. So that is nothing but particularly stored information which you could not pick up while it's coming to you, and that comes out now. But who sent this to you? You did not make that. You did not think on that. You did not research on that. But that information is available in your store. Consider it. This means there is something in your mind which you have to develop. You develop that, God answered that. It is God that is controlling us, me, you, everyone. If God cannot control us, we cannot survive. Simple. We are boasting, I'm doing this, I've done that, I've done this. Boast, no problem. But remember, when you say I did it, don't have pride. You replace I with on behalf of God, or you may say undertaking you give, undertaking to you, whatever when I say I, this doesn't mean I in person, this means that power. You will not have any kind of pride and you will get continuous answers because nothing you are doing. In fact, we are living in this body which is not mine. I have no copyright, no design right, no killing right, no lying right. It is given to me. I am using it, not built by me and cannot be killed by me. My statement is that use of mind is very important everywhere. Do not go to just superficiality. Mind does not give you money, that is a fact. But is money a requirement only? Other things are not requirement. Money is one part of life, but power is another part of life. And when I say power, power doesn't mean political power. Power doesn't mean weapon power. Power means power to think and power to work. There is a purpose of it is a purpose that why I am on this earth. It is if you go to some spiritual gurus, they will say something else. I'm not talking about that. Purpose is that you are here on even if you are on earth or you may be on some other planet, who knows? Your only purpose is that for few years this is home for you, this is a restaurant, this is residence, this is factory for you. You go and work there. This is your objective, nothing else. So that objective is open to all fields, all streams. You may be an engineer, you may be a doctor, you may be a robber, you may be a politician or whatever you are in this world. That is your field. Night and days are available. You cannot change them. So is this. You have to grasp as much as you can do. Thinking is more important. And those who think are always criticized. That is also true. If you think too much, you write too much, you speak too much, you are always criticized. That is human nature. No problem. I accept criticism. I accept abuses. I accept everything because you are giving me something. I'm not giving you anything. If you are abusing me, abuse me, no problem. But how long can you abuse me? You can abuse me one time, two times. After that, you submit, leave it. Because you cannot do more than that. Those people who think, who concentrate, first of all, they don't abuse. Those people who have nothing to do, who have nothing to think, means simple. If you have nothing to do, just shout, just complain. Very simple psychology. If I am somewhere, I am working, I have colleagues there, and if though nothing, I don't know my job, I don't know job means I know my deficiency. I know I cannot do this. I will say, hey guy, you are doing this wrong. It's just that I should not ask me anything. Just to prevent that guy questions me, I should say you are wrong, you are corrupt, you are this, you are that. I'll find 100 mistakes with other person who is actually working. Well, I say you're wrong. This is natural. Because if you want to stand, you drop someone else and you stand continuously. This is a simple principle of life. Those who work, first of all, they don't have time to talk nonsense. Those who keep working, those who are thinking, they don't even think how to speak bad for others. This is natural. If I work for me, first of all, I will be happy that I'm working. Even though I'm not getting money, I'm not getting any credit, which is irrelevant to me. I'm not working for credit. I'm no money. If I have capacity, I have time, I can afford, I'm working. Simple. If I work, I am able to work. There's no time for me to think a negative attribute for others. Why should I do that? I am enjoying pleasure from work. If I don't draw pleasure, I cannot work. That is impossible. Even it's a professional job, it's not professional job. It's paid job or unpaid job. If you are working successfully, this means you can't be angry first of all. More and more work draws energy from you, so your negativeness is already withdrawn. Your impurity, the virus is already withdrawn from your mind, your body. You can't be angry. You will be happy. When you are you have to think about your work during sleep time or some other time. This means you are a strong man. During your sleep, also you are thinking of your work. Means your capacity is building up. Your mental power is increasing, enhancing. That's called sometimes we term in spiritual language auritis. Yes, it is aura means is evolved from word original. Means you are working from original. You are not working from other works. Already there's a work and you are working on it. There's a research work. But if you're working for original, it's called innovative work, it's called exponential work. That is very important. A thinker, a person, a contemplator goes to innovator stage and goes to exponent stage, which is much more than research stage, because you search something and other persons in research did work on that search information. There's a difference of approach, the difference, the silver lining. So mind of those who are educated, minds of those who are professionals in any field, whatever field. I'm not saying my field, your field. Whoever use mind, actually, if they use constructive mind, if this for constructive work, you are working for nature. You are working for that power who sent you to this earth or to whatever planet for doing work representing that power. That is something I can understand. Those who do nothing, just waste time or just live, I'm not talking about them. That's my understanding is there only about 1% or 2% people in this world who actually think. It's even higher, I'm telling you. There's 7 billion people, for example. If 7 billion means 700 crore people, you think if the 1%, you think 7 lakh people are working and thinking? If you take 100 for 7 billion people, 700 crore people, if you take 1%, I don't think there are so many real thinkers. There are people who are writing, there are people who are researching, there are other classes of people, but if you take total of that real one, you will not find that much. Means maximum 90, 95, 96, 97, 98% people are just followers. So responsibility goes to them who are not followers, who are following God. Following God doesn't mean go to worship. No, this is worship. Your job is worship. Your work is worship. If you don't have any interest in that, means result interest. This is what God says. Do work for me. I will divert it to my some other topic from original one. So back to business, I say this. I just talked that one because people need some explanation. What's purpose of this? Why I'm doing this? What's meaning of that? How it applies to their life? Yes, they have nothing to do with this. First, there will be many questions from all those who come linked to this one, and they should ask because nobody, what I have seen, people are not interested in relevant topics. They are interested in topics that interest them. They're interested in topics that entertain them. I've seen people working on mobile, young people who should actually try to learn more and more in life, who are working on, who are occupied, who are doing job. They're not interested in any intellectualism. We can say majority of them. They're not interested in intellectualism. They're just interested to watch videos, films on mobiles, and just keep their God in their ears and sleep and watch or listen or whatever they do. People are not talking to others. There's no interaction. They don't. We used to talk some subjects when we were young, they were kids, but now thing, environment has changed, social environment, national environment, public environment. People are not even talking of. They're not interacting with each other. And that is really very, you can say, unbecoming state of our social affairs everywhere in the world. If these people are not getting something, if youth are not getting something, they are resorting to actions, they are resorting to revolutions, you may say unrest as is happening everywhere. I don't know go to that one, but the question is because there is no reliability on mind work. People just want results. Do I do this? I talk about this education. I must get a job. That is basic requirement, and everybody is interested in that. And once you get job, you are interested in job only. I finish my job 8, 10 hours, whatever it is, and after that, I'm not related to that job. I got this degree, this further degree, and after that, I don't have to anything to do with that, and that is a problem because no study is complete. That is just a silver lining. This is my degree. It doesn't mean anything if that is not worked with. If I have got some degree, I boast about that. Then boast your right to boast, no problem. But is it useful for this world? How much you have contributed to this world based on your information you have after having passed your degree? If you don't do that, your degree is nothing, it's useless, nothing to do with that. What value it is? You may say, I don't have a job. This is not giving me a job. Yes, this is not giving me a job. Did you join the degree for job only? How to develop your mind? If you think your education is only for living, for food, for that, that's different approach. And that is the reason that we are dropping everywhere. We are going into a direction of development which has no answers. There is a mad rush for everything. There is a mad rush of money. There is a mad rush of job. Everything is there. But real work has gone off somewhere. We have to awaken ourselves. All I'm talking on behalf of all world. I'm not talking behind of our country, behalf of our country. It's for all. Humanity has changed on and every country it has changed according to this communication power, which must have provided a basis to promote harmony, to promote interactions, to promote life and all world, but it has gone other way around. It has not been able to promote, but to start destruction. No patience. It is lost. People are not learning patience, they are being impatient. They want immediate results. Immediate, I want immediate results everywhere. It's not happening. We cannot move like that. Nature is working on its way according to the scale. We cannot change that. I actually was busy in some other topics, some other subjects like safety, like other management. Well, I just tried to bring this also to forefront because without this, we cannot rely on just talks of few subjects, few disciplines. First, we have to understand where we are. I did many talks before regarding economic understanding, economic which we understand in a different way, but we forget that that economic is related to nature, that economic is related to earth or lithosphere, and we are bound to know that. We are bound to understand that. But I am not getting any good feedback from people. This means people are not interested in all these intellectual works, in intellectual activities. I just try to submit to people what economy actually is. Economy is just material people think. Economy is just money people think. Economy is just power of, you can say, well, money you have. No, I try to communicate that economy, first of all, is not original. Economy is based on earth, lithosphere resources, earth which belongs to everybody. It doesn't belong only to one nation. Earth belongs to all citizens of this earth. all creatures of this earth, and there is a limited quantity of resource which are known. This, as I said, first 35 kilometers, which is known as crust, 35 kilometers from sea or ocean level. That is a resource center known now but could not be explored till now. 35 kilometers. If you just go to, you have a resource of oil, or you can say fossil fuel, which is just extracted from sea bottom or ocean bottom, which is not more than 10 kilometers from surface. It's ocean, or 4 kilometers from surface. That's called sea. Beyond that, we do not know, and we are not reached even to that level of 10 kilometers from here. We extract oil by rigging. That material is only known to us, and there is no one till now who has reached even 5 kilometers below continent, or no one can claim that I can construct a room 10 kilometers below surface of Earth or lithosphere. I have not heard that there is a room 10 kilometers down, 10 kilometers below, because we cannot do that. We can think of going to moon, we can think of going to Mars, we can think even to go to sun, we can think, but we cannot explore here thoroughly. Even US, which is called superpower, faces tornadoes, faces climatic effects. We have failed to control pollution, combat pollution till now, which is just in air. We cannot control that. We have nothing in fact on our own. We are just relying upon natural products. If you don't have wheat, if you don't have rice, if you don't have fruits, if you don't have natural water, you think it survive? Impossible. None of these materials we created, we constructed by our own. Everything is God gift. In fact, if people say there's no God gift, every country is having God gift. We are having God gift. America is having God gift. We have vegetable, we have trees, we have plants which we sow. Everything is naturally born, naturally produced. Sun is there, earth is there, skies are there, air is there, water is there. What is not there? Everything is there. Similarly, concealed wealth is there. In crust we have, in mantle we don't know, in core we don't know. We shall be able to know, or we shall not be able to know. I can't say. We could not explore this small ball, this small sphere of 12,000 kilometer diameter approximately. We post a lot to go to sun. This is if you compare to total sizes, to solar sizes, other sizes, this is very small part of solar system. As I said, Earth is only 0.9% diameter of Sun. So we think it's very small planet we are living in comparison, though it's not small if you consider isolation, but as a part of solar system, it's too small. And what wealth it has in its chest, in its stomach, we don't know. But we rely on that. And we don't understand that this earth contains its resources, its sources, to say, provide us economy, nothing else. Our economy is based on what we could explore from this earth. And you just think, if you go on exploring unlimitedly, earth imbalance can start, internal imbalance, and that can affect external balance. So, example is, we have taken out fossil fuels, we have taken out coal, we have taken out many ores. We cannot fill back. Physically speaking, civil engineering wise speaking, there can be cost, can see voids, and it can lead to static disturbance. That is very dangerous. Not now, maybe after decades or centuries. Economy is related to our earth. We have to understand this fact. But our economists, our scientists ignore this fact. Our economists, our economists just think of GDP, they just think of future, they think of transaction, they fight for that. They never think how it relates to our economy. Earth is very significant there. If we don't have resources, if we don't have surface actions of irrigation and crops, how can we survive? If we don't have food, how can we survive? If we don't have basic grains, how can we survive? If we explore everything out from internal part of crust or mental, how can we survive? Thanks God we don't know everything about Earth till now. Forget other planets. About Earth, we don't know what real structure is. We are just imagining there's a crust, there's mantle, there's core. It could be this and it could be that, and this could be philosophy where earthquake can exist, and this all this is all unconfirmed till now. We cannot forecast earthquake, we cannot forecast tornado. Superficially, we know something after watching how what's the status, how it's working, how ionization is happening in atmosphere, how good clouds formation is happening. All this we just read and forecast for a few days. That's enough. That's why that's what's happening. But we do not know facts of science, facts of engineering, prosecuted and executed by God, by nature, when this globes, these spheres are constructed. We don't know that one. We cannot even cross crust. People even don't know about basic structure of earth. We simply say that we are exploring oil. We do not know how water of sea is saline. People have no knowledge about anything. We don't understand what is pressure below sea. We just know water pressure is that, sea water pressure is this, and earth continental water pressure is this. We do not know further. How could this be created? What is basic behind that? How this balance is made? These are all points which are not available everywhere. Theories are available. You can say explanations are available, but these are not perfect. For that, we need to continue on that. And that is the only reason I try to do this. Example, we say this basaltic rocks below sea, below oceans. We know they are basaltic, but why they are basaltic? Question is that why is basaltic? Why seawater is saline? Why it is not same? River is not saline, but when it enters and oozes out to sea, it becomes saline. This because of pressure, because of crushing strength. Rock at sea level or ocean level is a stone, just like it is on continent. Why there is saline? If there is 10 kilometers, say, go down 10 kilometers in water, you know what's pressure there? Because conservatively you think, don't go into further details. 10 kilometers down is 10,000 meters down. This is 10,000 tons per square meter. Simple way, layman way. Where you are trying to rig, if it's not ocean, if you are in sea, say 4 kilometers down, even there it is 4,000 tons per square meter. You think 4,000 tons per square meter or 10,000 tons per square meter, can that rock available there tolerate that, resist that for 10,000 tons per square meter pressure? And when there's water already penetrating into pores, into cavities of that igneous rocks or basaltic rocks or whatever rocks is there, this means there that rock is not that strong. It can resist 10,000 tons per square meter pressure. Even 100 ton is enough for rock to crush some rocks, which are soft rocks or other rocks. But okay, that is not soft, we know, because it's 10 kilometer down. But 10,000 tons means it can crush that rock to some depth. That is why there is the salt in that rock. It's salt rock. Salts are always there. So that certainly comes to water. It's common sense. This study is required. How it behaves, how it conducts, how it reacts. That's what. I just tried a lot to know about searching on Google, about sea technology, what is depth, how. Yes, there is no clear answer from whatever information I got. It's all confusion. One says something, other says something, but no reliability exists there. No problem. I studied applied science of this applied geology. I also could not get much more information than basic information, definitions of work agencies in nature, this agency, that agency, all that. Just try to get basic information, not more than that. And it's still same. There's no much change. There's no much addition to knowledge, and that would never be a thing. We have to consider that way. Even today, we are all engineers, civil engineers, structural engineers. We work a lot on various investigations, but we lack too much in geological investigations. We consider specialized field or foreign field for us, which is not true. First of all, it's no specialized field. It should be a part of our study. We are engineers, civil engineers, which basic material for whom is soil. Soil is top material for a civil engineer, soil or rock. Without understanding of soil and without understanding of rock, there can be no civil engineer. And if there is someone, he is a foundational civil engineer, because soil is first foundation for every structure. This is basics. If I cannot understand soil, I cannot understand strata, I cannot understand rock, I can understand nature of how it works, I can never understand engineering in civil. It's not civil alone, it affects others also. So to make a good foundation, to make a good civil engineer, even though it's not mandatory subject, because syllabus says it's mandatory, it says not mandatory, it doesn't matter. Even if it is not mandatory, you make it mandatory. After all, it's for you. You learn yourself. What's the problem with that? But just saying, no, I have nothing to do with that. I'll design a structure and that's all. You cannot do that. If you do that, you're cheating yourself. You're not just doing justice to you. You're a professional, but you're not rational professional. You're a forced professional. Forced professional never works. You have to immerse yourself into profession. Not because you are being paid, because you are producing something. You know, now money is made with work. We know everywhere, in every field, in every profession, money is scaled to work. What work I am doing, how much I shall get. When I was a child, we were not of that scale. We were not. We said, yes, you will get money. Don't worry, you will get money, but you work fully. I still remember motto professor used to say, you'll get, don't worry about how much time you're spending on this design, calculation of this curtailing of barcelona or other applications. Don't worry about it. Just check that, check this and check that. Don't worry, you'll be paid. Means there was a consideration of what money you get by doing that. Well, that's right. I understand that. Everybody has a requirement that money is also important. But if you just keep factor of money as is being kept today, in today's world, whatever field you join, whatever degree you do, you have just one ambition. If I join this field, I'll get this much package. If I do this field, I'll get this much package. If that is ambition point, then we cannot move further. Those scientists who did a lot of us for this world, did they get money? You have to think that way. How much money did they get? But we are not doing that much. We are just studying based on that knowledge which they gave us, they gifted to us, and then we are claiming money on that. And we know money is one part of life, not all parts of life. Man, this is philosophical discussion, I say. But as far as work is concerned, yes, you are paid money indeed, but that is not control point. Control point is something else. Now controls are very important in these professional days, professional works. Previously they were done, but they were named separately. Cost control, time control, this control, that control. Now everything has come into certain terminology that we regard, we accept. But that existed before as well. You have a budget control, You have limitations of everything. You are constrained within certain factors. You cannot cross them. Otherwise, question arises regarding your proficiency. But still, there are so many aspects. Technologies cannot be controlled. You have to think again and again for optimum use of material economy. Means they say economy is very important, but they forget what economy they are talking. They consider only cost economy. Material should be used in an optimum way, which is abused actually. I have seen so many projects where people talk of economy, they don't talk of economy of material. I mean, they talk of cost, they don't talk of stresses. Economy doesn't mean cost alone. Economy means utilization of natural resources or artificial resources in best way, in optimized way. That is economy. Your material should not go unused. For example, if you can use 8 mm steel, 8 mm rebar, and you use 20 mm rebar there, means you are wasting that reinforcement. When it is not required, you are putting in that for what? You don't know yourself. Your layman thinks, oh, I'm giving so many tons of steel into this building, it's a stronger. That is called uneconomic work. It's not question. You have unnecessary added that steel into your concrete, which would not perform. Only part of that would perform. You could save that, economize, and material as well as cost. That is different. That's what I'm talking about economy. Economy is not what economy, that's economic data we are talking of. These economists are talking, they talk of economical data. They don't talk about magnitude of concealed wealth that we have. That concealed wealth in earth, in lithosphere is not known. We do not know that till now. They say only by research, oh, this is available in South China Sea. America wants to capture that. China is there, and Philippines is there. Thai and other countries are here. Vietnam is there. They are fighting for that because hidden wealth is there, fossil fuel is there beneath South China Sea, and they know that. They know now there's too much there. And America is also there to grab that. Wherever money is there, they go and start fighting or making people fight. It may be Iraq, it may be Libya, it may be, you can say, Yemen, it may be somewhere else. It happens. For them, material value is economy, but for economists, it's not material value. It's not material value, but quantity of material that's available, which is unknown till now. Some information available only from crust, but other informations, complete information even from crust is not available. As you go down 35 kilometers, the crust is called, it's not measurement, actually just the guide, that up to 35 kilometers they can know what is available, and beyond that even properties are not known. They may say it is 5.5 kilogram per centimeter cube, 5.5 gram per centimeter cube, material type in metal. What does it mean? 5.5 gram per centimeter cube. What it indicates? And then we go further down and say, oh, it's core of Earth, core of lithosphere, and it is 8 gram per cm cube. 8 gram per cm cube means it's like steel. This means core is steel. And this 2.5, which is crust, is not steel, it's rock. And in between rock and steel, there is metal. So what is metal? We can someday, oh, this density can be this material, this density can be this material. They are just assumption, no concrete answer. That is what concerns us. It's a question to understand what could be available there, and if it's available, how to explore that. Yes, hydrocarbons were there, liquid form was there. You just extracted that, and you got this fuel, and you ate that fuel. you exhausted that fuel, is available many reservoirs are available, and you want to extract them also for sake of your economical improvement. But those solid forms, how to extract? It's available or not available, we cannot say. It could be, it could not be. Means who knows future? Nobody knows future. And thanks God, they have failed to extract that. They have not done something concrete on that. And whatever they could extract, economy is working on that. Our economical scientists or professionals, you can say, economic professionals, they are just counting on values. They are not counting of wealth. Wealth is hidden, and we do not know what quantity of that metal is. We cannot estimate that till today. How much gold is there, how much platinum is there, and other costly metal, and more and more costly in mantle and core could be. Well, I'm going into that topic which I used in my economical studies, and I just tried to explore that in various, I think, 5 or 6 talks of economy, because I wanted to study complete economy, not theoretical data economics. What we do is data economics and not real economics. And real economics, it cannot be, you can say, defined till now, because we don't have resources information available with us. Sources information, which is very important. My purpose of economy was to let engineers, particularly, of course economists are there, but engineering, development and future of every country depends on availability of resources which are available. Eating resources not a big problem for engineering community, because that resources are available by natural process on surface itself. Yes, we have agricultural engineering, we have hydraulic resources engineering, we have others engineering which are related to our production of food items. And these are done. Still we depend upon rain, we don't depend upon self-created infrastructure that can help us continuation of cropping, continuous growth of crop. We are not to depend upon natural support of rain, but still that cannot be developed. That could not be developed. We failed in that. Lot of network can be done. There was a program long back that is river to river connections all over this country been a requirement, but political forces, political powers could not channelize that. They just busy in the round, and money is required for that as well. Without resources, nothing can be done, and resources are limited. Apart from that, we have to keep our resources ready, and our resources are very important. And this is regarding our own studies, our own work, and we cannot avoid these studies. I just started this preliminary study to know more about this, and I'm still more interested to get more information on these planetary parameters, and to just calculate how can we reach to volume of skies. You will just imagine what I'm talking. Can an engineer think of that? How to reach to know magnitude of our seen sky, because we can see stars at night, though we can see them. We can see sun by naked eyes, and we can see by naked eyes these stars. Millions and billions and trillions of stars you can see in skies. This means something else also exists there. The stars are seen, some structure is there which we are not clear about, we have no information about. But can we mentally reach there? That is an original question. I can raise this question to myself. Can we reach to that location by our minds, not by our religious books? No, I'm not talking of that. I'm not talking of faith, I'm not talking of that. But scientifically, if you move your mind, if you have power of mind, if you can use, if you understand your signals of mind, can we reach there to know what these stars are, why they are there, what's their purpose? After all, we are not directly using them. The sun we are using directly. Even other stars, planets we are not using directly, except sun we are directly using in everyday life. And I think this is, you can say, a major, a most reliable power station we have in our solar system. Just think of how much energy we are getting from sun that we are not able to create our own. We have much electrical energy produced by our power stations, but that is not adequate enough to illumine our sky at night. Can we do it? We are having illumination only on road streets, on roads, or somewhere height of say 10-story building, 15, 20-story building, or tower. For example, you can say World Tower or Dubai Tower or whatever tower. We can reach electricity to that one, but that's only in structure. Outside not. So we don't have that much capacity of electrical energy till now that can illumine even surrounding our areas, say up to 10, 20, 30 meters. We cannot even illumine whole world. This means in daytime everything is illumined, even the skies are illumined. The sky, the stars are covered, we can't see them. We can't see something. This sun is the most powerful power station, electrical station. People are using solar energy now for electricity. That's very good. They are using. Still, there is no weakness in sun. It is too much light that converts to electrical energy. And I just talked of this illuminating power of sun. It is extensive. If I stand in that, I believe me, I can't stand there. In so much of what we can't stand, there's really blackness. Just think of how could that power design and conceive of that type of power, that superpower produce this unit of sun with this much energy that if you reach there, you will disappear. Believe me, if you reach there, you will disappear for sure until you are so much powerful. Scientists are talking of reaching to sun. Talk. Talking doesn't make anything. How many have tried this there? Think of. Means saying is very easy. I say something, but it is very difficult to do that. Beyond imagination. But that power is already done. That power has done it already, long back. Billions of years back it is done. His eyes are looking that there's no need of another evidence. System is available. We have to recognize that. We fail if you don't recognize that. But what can you contribute to that? We are not even able to digest that system. If you stand in hot or in sunlight in summer for 1 hour, you get mad. When even you cannot digest the temperature of 45 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Celsius. More than 1 hour, half an hour. You cannot digest that. You start streaming out, you start sweating. But how that object called sun is digesting all that, is producing all that? What type of structures was it having in its body? Is saying 1.41 density. Okay, that is information. But how cells are connected, its structure versus porosity, or its complete solid, it's emitting light from this, means what sort of particles they have. its soil or some luminous object particles there. We have to see all that. Information of speed or of perpetual it's not that much as is it's fire or it's no fire. It's a question. Can it be tolerated? Cannot be tolerated according to information. Just like I say Earth is moving with such a speed around sun. It's not my calculation. Actually, this is parametric calculation. This is if you say you are traveling at the speed of 1 lakh kilometer per hour, what happens to you? We know we don't feel it because we are within Earth. We are not outside Earth. But we are moving and Earth is working. Same way other planets are working. There must be some interrelation to these planets. Otherwise, why should be there? Then one sun is enough or one earth is enough. Why there is a grouping of these planets under such orbital distances? And they keep there with certain variations, of course, according to their design, but on average, they continue work. And this system working forces me to think about what relations do exist among them. Are propelling forces of sun and other individual planets dependence on having a dependence degree on each other to survive? Of course, sun is surviving, and if that distance is not available or that distance doesn't work, then why should that distance be? This means that distance is must so that that planet is located and sustainable. It sustains due to having that location distant. That location distance is there, which is just like maybe some formula devolved to reach an equilibrium status, just like we calculate static equilibrium, dynamic equilibrium in our calculations of structural designs or theory of structure. We do that. This means there should be certain phenomena which require this, that this planet has to be this distance and at that distance other one, and working relations among them. What are working relations? Why so many planets are there in this system? What reason is there? What function each planet has got? Should we think that way? So, oh, no book is there, we cannot do this. We simply say that book is there, no book is there. You cannot just answer based on book is available or not available. Question is why this sorting, why this structure of solar system available. This point, this can say this sea of thought, not school of thought. We have to move like this. We have to select our unknown destination like this. We have to select that. We have to force ourselves to think. It is only here we can think. If I die today, I leave this earth, no need. Then information must be available there. If you reach your office, where you came from, or your home you came from, I go back there, I got information, no problem. There's no. But importance is you got that information here. When I leave my body, information, so there's no excitement there. If I get information there, because this is no excitement is here only. Because here, if I want to know something out of that, I have to work on that, think on that. It's not me, when I say I means everybody of us. That is scientific evolutions. I'm not talking of physical exploration. Science is there, subjects are there, scientists have worked a lot, but still you have to think on that. Gravity was discovered, Newton was discovered, and so many other issues discovered. Engineering is based on science, everything is based on science. We are working on that. Still, we are not perfect, no one is perfect. It can never be. Yet we have to think further. And I am happy at least that I am spending my time, if I have, on to abstracting, searching, and assembling my information like this, so that I at least can read this and understand this. Of course, everybody is not having any good interest on these parameters. Even then, it requires to be understood. In our profession, is a profession of civil engineering, which is very different from other professions, because we are not delivered spare parts, we are not delivered assembly parts, and we are not delivered machine parts. We are delivered complete raw parts, parts that are naturally available, parts that are just delivered to us in natural form after a small process. For example, we are getting sand, we are getting aggregate, we are getting cement, we are getting so many other items that are not directly assembled or finished. And if you are getting finished, that is also there. Both are also there. Both are there. It's not simply finished or unfinished. Means we have to use that material which is completely raw, and then you are getting completely original material from nature, and once you use that in your activities, that is much more important, that is much more useful, because no one worked on that except supplying and crushing, etc. And you have to work that material, means you have to check that material first, examine that whether it does suit your job or it doesn't suit your job. That is very significant one. And it is only this way, I should say, that civil engineers are very lucky from viewpoint of using these natural materials directly to produce certain materials which are indirectly. We make house of this soil. We use this soil for stone. The stone is produced from the soil. Everything is produced from soil. Soil is used in one way or other. Produces, there's a limestone. This also means all those materials which have based on further decomposition for long converted to other materials. That's very important. So we just run away from studies in schools and colleges and say why to go into that much depth just to know. But oh, we just pass this examination for sake of passing. That consideration is one part, but other consideration is you have to keep study forever. I'm just trying to communicate myself alone, not to yourself, that mind can be used. And I actually use, I spend my time whenever I have in such type of, you can say, extra professional activities. Extra professional activities means there is one way, either you spend in match watching, or you spend in entertainment, or you spend in your social life, or you spend in a way you feel good. But there is one solution to mental stress. If your mental stress developed, or you are forced to that one, another mental stress is there that can quash that mental stress and crash that one. So if you create another mental stresses, just involve yourself in such other study which also is interesting to you, rather than playing at cards or watching TV or watching movie or wasting time in certain activities which are not relevant to you. Means you have this mental stress and you have that mental stress. That mental stress can utilize or can utilize this mental stress. It happens. Certainly happens. You can experiment that. No problem with that way. It works actually. It works very successfully. Means generally people are not interested in that. There are people, serious people. And again I'm saying it is seriousness. It's not, you can say, choice. Oh, I have choice. Today I'm tired. Okay, I do something, and next day, okay, I do something else, and then another day I do this one. Varying approach cannot work. Seriousness doesn't mean face is serious. Remember, when I say seriousness of act or deed, it doesn't mean face is serious or impression is serious. It has nothing to do with that. It's only that you keep continuity on your actions. You keep them like a wizard that I have to do this every day. There can be complaints that I have passed this examination, I have failed this examinations. Oh, you didn't study, that's the reason you failed. Simple. Same thing. I have to pass examination every day in my work, in my profession, my life, everywhere. Why should I restrict myself to certain profession that gives me food? See, every day is 24 hours. And I have to sleep 5 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. It depends upon you how much you want to sleep. Remaining time you have, you will not do work all that hour. If you have 17 hours, 16 hours, 15 hours, no one is working that much. It's only fake statement that I'm working so many hours a day. Thinking is also work, don't forget. Thinking is a part of work. I am stressed, I have been working there for 12 hours, I'm tired, I want to sleep. Yes, that's right. But it doesn't happen every day. You have put that much input to your work for 14 hours a day, but not all days. Sometimes that benefit goes to you if you concentrate on work. Improvement to your work, improvement to your style, what you learned, further improvement on that, and that improvement generates improvement on your activities further, and you can say philosophies, you can say further principles, further empirical ways, further ways when can you improve your performance. Every time you do something, you learn something. Next time you learn another thing. And then after having repetitions of that work, you try to refine your position, you try to save your time, you do something in much lesser time than you started with. That is expertise. After repetitions, and you can say, yes, I am now expert in this. And that converts to other stages also. Therefore, we have to be, you can say, patient in thinking and keep our souls and minds together so that we don't suffer from any consideration in life. I would say those people who are studious, who are concentrated in studies or in research or in work must feel better. Forget how much you are earning. Everything cannot be linked to earning. That is impossible. And our engineering doesn't mean work, money. We don't work all times for money because, first of all, our work is not of that high caliber that people think we are something. Unfortunately, civil people are not valued as they should be. It's not only here, everywhere. There was one friend of mine long back in Doha, one British guy, structural engineer, matured one, and he was very much upset because of engineering. Oh, you are wasting time, so don't do this. Forget engineering, there's nothing in this. I am not getting something, you're not getting something I should get. This was just leave this and let's go somewhere else. Where you go? I said, I'm thinking to start some tourism business in your country. What's this engineering? This is no much respect and value, and we have to work hard, lot on that, and now getting that written. Well, that was right. Practically was right. It was much more conducive, much more behavior having. It was much more intelligent than me. First of all, it was a structural engineer. I was not that powerful that when we were young. That guy, because he learned a lot in life of structuring, but he didn't get benefits of that. He didn't returns of that. Someone I talk to you, you are chartered structural engineer. Yes, I am. I want, what shall do with chartered engineer? Oh, there's no job. Simple answer, the 50,000 structural engineers being aligned. What do you do with that? Okay, they are structured, there's no jobs. So why you want to do that? So I was shocked and said, what this we're talking about? The facts means if you if you just relate it to earning money, then it's no use. If you want earning money, if you want to earn money, there are so many professions you can go in there. But our profession is not a money making profession. It is just a profession for your satisfaction. You may get job, but you will not get job to your satisfaction. This is a fact. And this is sure. You cannot get job for your satisfaction. Never. You'll get job only for sake of survival, and that's it. Because people do not value your work. They may value IT engineer, they may value management person, they can value politician, they can value film stars, cricketers, but you cannot be valued. You are just like you're working only for yourself. You want to work, people simply say, you are working for us or we are working for you. We need you or you need us. They're kind of different thinking people. You need me or I need you. When such questions start coming in, we need you or you need me. So you have to decide if you want to serve or condemn that and go, okay, you will not get job in that case. But without job, you cannot survive. Without job, you cannot learn engineering. Without job, you cannot be exposed to experience. That is also important. So sometimes we have to be forced. We are forced to accept something which we don't have, but we have to do that. And that is the way we are people who use natural resources to useful resources. We are expert on that, but we are expert only for others' sake, not for our sake, and that's only an answer you can say. More than this, I don't think we can raise some answer. After all, this is fun. So I think I have not to explain any further because too much gossip is also no good for you people, and too much gossip means just wasting your time. I would simply say that engineering, I consider this topic also a part of engineering. Maybe you will agree or you may not agree. Facts remain facts because we are getting certain certainly some energies through these planets. Certainly, sun rays we are getting directly. We are getting chemicals from sun rays. We are getting destructive chemicals as well through ultraviolet rays, but we are getting vitamin D also. So both facilities. Without vitamin D, we cannot survive, particularly engineers who work in sun. You are healthy one because you are getting solar radiations. We are getting absorbed directly into our bodies. And if those who are civil engineers on site, particularly those people who experience on sites, they are much healthier people. They have more resistance in their bodies. They have more immunized. You can say if you can stand in sun 2 hours, 3 hours a day, you can work. Of course, your face may be a little dark, shady, not like British guys or whitish color. You may have certain dim color. You can say black. You may say those are black. It's different color, but it is resistant to solar radiations. This is a proven fact because you have been used to sun rays. Sun rays, we are getting vitamin D as well as you are getting ultraviolet rays. So you are resistant to the rays more than a person who is not used to sun rays. African people are stronger than others because of this. People in Middle East countries and in GCC countries, those who are exposed to sun rays, they are much stronger. Animals are much stronger, be more than us because they are exposed to sun rays. Elephant, lion, cows, buffaloes, they don't wear clothes. They are more stronger to us than us. But we people are sitting in air-conditioned offices, are sitting inside, are hesitant to go outside. But civilians are forced to do that. We are forced because of nature of work. Even though other mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, other engineers go after accommodation is available, office is available, they just go half an hour maximum to field or in covered areas only to check their electrical system, check their mechanical system. But we are raw engineers, I can say layman people, particularly those civil engineers who are not design oriented, who are not office oriented, who are field oriented, they are much more stronger physically and power of mind because absorptions of sun rays by mind means solar power, electrical power. That power can generate your body, can maintain your blood pressure, can force you to be more stronger, stand and walk, and it can you can say you can move your mind rapidly because of electrical charges your body has got. That is a different consideration altogether, and I experience it practically. You think you walk on road, just walk for say 1 hour, half an hour. Speed with which your mind thinks is much faster than what in a seated room, in comfortable room, you start sleeping, getting drowsy. But while you roll on street in sun, you can't sleep walking, no. You have to be awake and your mind is much stronger than that. Your questions are answered. Try it sometime, you cannot try, and then think, I'm wrong. When you are on site, yes, you are not maybe concentrating on different type of work, but you are getting angry and you are consoling people also. You are taking work from them, but you are checking also. And when you go to room in your office, you find solutions also. So that is what contribution I think everybody gets from natural resource and which is the solar system. I am supported by sun, I am supported by earth, I am supported by this electromagnetic field connecting all these planets, and I am getting benefit of all that. That is a support to me. I'm not paying anything for that. I'm not paying anything. It's free. My mind is heated, it's energized. My body absorbs sun rays, it's energized. Chemical treatment to stomach, chemical treatment to bones, and you have to drink water to dissipate heat enter body, and that is what build up body is. This is also a development of engineering. Is this engineering is supporting me for health engineering? Maybe doctors don't understand that. No doctor can answer you for how many hours you have to stand in sun, what quantity of solar radiations you take. No doctor will answer you because they themselves don't know. But they say stand in sun, don't depend on tablets of vitamin D, just go in sun for stand for some time, you'll be happy. And it happens. Best answer is stand in sun till you are comfortable. When you feel you're not comfortable, go back, stay in room and then come back again. This is usual practice people do. But if you just think all time, oh, I have to stand in 3 hours. No, that's not correct because access to everything is bad. You may be having sunstroke, you may be heat stroke. That can happen, it happens. We don't care for that. This is just a supporting statement I'm giving. It's nothing to do with that. But this solar system supports me to this activity, to this treatment, to this solution, which is my basic right. I have to take from nature, and if I run away from this right, this means I'm not interested in my health building. I'm not interested to be a part of nature. If I run away from that, natural part is very important. They talk of so many orthodox statements like vastu and like all that and that's just creating a kind of illusion among society. This is vastu, what I'm telling you. Be in sun, this is vastu. Half of your disease will disappear. Be in raw material, half of your resistance will increase. You are in sand, you are in dust, you are in soil, you are in concrete, you are in everywhere you are, and your body is used to that. Hearing voice of excavator, voice of machines. You are in a turbulence, noise, pollution, but you are used to that. But at home, when you are saying, "Oh, this voice is coming and disturbing me," this is difference. So I am getting support from nature to build power of resistance in my body, which otherwise enhances my soul power. That is what I want to discuss with you guys. Not necessary that doctor has to treat me. Nature is my doctor. It gives me water, it gives me food. Just take, for example, every fruit, every product of God. Have you ever noticed? Every product is protected by package, by covers, which you cannot produce yourself. Take everything, take banana, there is a protection of cover. Take potato, there is a protection of cover. Take your carrot or some other item or fruit, some mango, whatever, there is a natural product. Protection, internal protection. There is a structure of that fruit. There's a complete health food. Why don't we realize this fact? Natural, sustainable fruits are available. Natural, sustainable wheat grains are available. God has done everything for us, but we have to study that production, and that is what is required. We cannot simply take it for granted. It is for human to live based on that. Just imagine if there is no process, if there is no wheat, if there is no rice, if there is no vegetable, if there is no this, whatever available, can we live? We cannot. Otherwise, we would take grass. Grass is not able to take, we'll take stones. This is a point to understand. I am non-veg. That's not a question of pride. That is a question of foolishness. Why you want to take non-veg? I'm not preaching this. I'm just asking. Why are you interested to kill certain creatures and eat their bodies? What is benefit of that when already creatures are available? Fruits are a kind of creature. You can say your salt is there. So you can say sugar is there in that. It's a complete food. You are contented with that. You take apple, you take mango, you take banana, you take whatever is available, you take a vegetable. You you're eating that, and your stomach is contented. This means that engineer, that doctor, that factory manager, God, he has given you everything. He has given you light, he has given you air, he has given you water, he has given you material, he has given you material of sea, he has given you material of earth, he has given you food, he has given what that person has not given you. Why don't you recognize this fact? You are just flowing in orthodoxism, in paradoxism, without understanding basics, sciences and basics engineering, based on which we are we are like sciences. We do not know the secrets. That God has given you soul signals. That God has given you soul power. Body is built by soul. That power has given you a structure in humanity, in woman, to produce generation, to generate new bodies without having any electrical supply, without having any feedback. without having any resources management. That generation goes on. Why don't you think in that way? Not only that generation, food plant is also available there. Your contribution is nothing. That way we have to understand that power. That is not religious power, that is actual power. That is power that cannot be easily understood. That power that cannot be condemned. That power is real power. Don't take into religious matters. Don't think faith. It's not faith, it is reality. We cannot understand reality. That is why we say, oh, we take support of faith. That's the problem. No faith, only reality. And reality is seen. This nature is reality. My body is reality. From my body, next body is reality. Everything is available to survive is reality, which reality doesn't exist. Only doesn't exist is understanding. I am not able to understand. That is a problem. Nothing else. If I understand everything, I am smart. If an engineer, your mind is so developed, engineering means development of mind, because engineer means a genius person. If you cannot be genius, you can never be engineer. Engineer means to understand, not to memorize. Engineer means to apply your knowledge, not just have knowledge. Engineer means do it. That's engineer. Whatever it is. It's not simply civil engineering. Every engineering is human existence itself engineering. Why they call social engineering? Why they call this engineering? Somebody wrote to me about meditation. You come to our this institution, we will teach you about meditation. I told them, have you understood meditation? You are, when I saw your video, they are showing, you're asking people, what is your problem? What is your, you are just reaching to persons. Have you understood what is this country we are living in? On what basis we are country are? On this basis, did you ask society? You first understand yourself what is meditation. It's not a shop, you are making it a shop. Maybe you're charging money from people by telling them do this and you must charity or this and that. It's indirectly meditation shop or meditation engineering laboratory. If it's meditation engineering, I shall accept you. You may be whatever. I don't want your honor. I want to change society. If you can convince people this is meditation engineering, not meditation, I'm asking again. I don't trust meditation. I trust meditation engineering. Can you do that? Our people do not understand our systems. Our people do not understand what our country is. What they can understand about meditation. What is available, we are not understanding. What is books written, we are not understanding. And we are doing meditation, which you don't know what it is. Where do you want to take up by meditation? Some people say we are doing yoga. Yes, we are doing yoga. Are you really understanding what is yoga? What is yoga? Simple language, it says yag samapis. You have to connect to who is yoga, for whom you are connecting. You are doing physical exercise, you are doing yoga. You don't understand how flow of Atma or soul is doing yoga. Are you reaching God by this yoga? Then don't be full public. You are just a shop to sell your exercises to people and charging money for that. You are just a shop to sell your material, nothing else. It's not yoga, it's not meditation, it is just befooling people, and you are doing that successfully because your job is to befool people. Your orientation, your destination is to make money. For you, making money is yoga. For that person who is your customer, is befooling is yoga, nothing else. I used to learn PT in my schools, physical training. What you are teaching? Have you reached God yourself? How much do you understand God? You're telling, I'm teaching yoga, I'm teaching meditation. Do you understand the soul? No, you cannot understand. Only a drama, a sale, a marketing of your created mind. It's not real mind. If you are so much yogaful, you are so much meditative, you are a big person. What did you do for society? Just the falsification, nothing else. If you are so expert in yoga, if you are so meditative person, why diseases are increasing? Tell me. Why yourself you're sick? When you are sick, you are going for medical treatment. Then where's yoga? It's not a question mark. You are telling others how to eliminate diseases. You are selling your contents. But when you are sick, you are going to AIMS or some other hospital. Why? Or you are going to foreign country for treatment. Why? This means you are a drama artist. You are a film officer. You are just selling yourself, nothing else. This is not yoga. Understand yoga, understand science, understand soul, understand spiritual power, understand mind. Then you can say yoga. You are just imposing your thoughts on other people who have no analytical mind to understand what you're saying. They have just faith in you, touching your feet and bowing to you, and you are cashing them. This is not yoga, this is abuse of God. Well, it's your action, you will get reaction, you will get award of that yourself. I'm not going to do that, but don't befool people like that. Those who have yoga, they are very powerful people. It's not so simple to understand yoga, understand meditation. That is why I refunded that. I rebuked that letter which came to me, that first you tell me, are you doing something for youth to understand our system? No answer from them, because they just want you to be part, that you come to us, join us, and maybe we use you or you contribute to us something. If that is only a target, thanks very much. Answer me this. What have you done for society? I'm not interested. You are helping this individual or their family. That is your problem. Have you helped this nation? How much improvement you have brought to social people to let them change their conduct? You have not done anything. What's function? If you are a salesperson, fine, then you can't be called a sadhu or saint or baba or whatever it is. You are just a befooling whole nation, and nation is befooled because nations believe in you can say they are you stop them from thinking. Their minds are blocked by you. They are just come to touch your feet, and you have made them touch your feet, not your mind. Why don't you shake hand with them? Why don't you give mental knowledge to them? You're just saying through some stories, this was there was a king there. You just before them, somebody asked you a question, why are you burning tree for your worship? You had no answer. You just, I will burn it, my God. You did not one sentence, did not answer. You call Baba. Some girl asked, why are you wasting these trees for worship and burning? No answer. What sort of person you are? Just chanting your bhajan, your name, and you are happy with that, and those people are happy with that. I don't know how got these women so much time to sit before such babas for hours together, wasting their time. And of course, there's some disturbance in the family when woman is away for many hours. Husband must be having some dispute with that woman. But the touch feet of Babas, they don't realize that Babas have blocked their mind, hypnotized minds, and they have become yogas. Well, I'll stop here now. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'll do work on that and come back again. Thanks, thanks for this time, and I close this. Thanks again. Very much, Jai Bharat.